Shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, this some social shit for everyone, you know what I'm saying? Like, I made this be myself, so hear me. Woo! I mean, like, we can pull that clown shit away. This some real shit for you. I'm spazzing right now, so listen, let's go. Yeah. It's in their bones, the thoughts and harmony for the love of the money. Then fall victim for the cookie, then turn pussy, it's lonely. You said you hold it down when life get rough, we're here now, so show me. We move them losses to them wins. Heavy pounds, we make it ends meet. Converse with only few who make me feel like I be 10 feet.
Yep. We're back in the building. Big up to everybody inside. Good morning to all, man. We're back with another match preview. We will not be here for a long time, just a good time. I'm laughing because I just watched back the Newcastle versus Arsenal game again. I was just looking at some stuff, a couple of the players, and just looking at a couple of the comments, man. A couple of the comments that people made, most notably Arsenal fans, in regards to the game, the way that they spoke after that, after the City win. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that obviously a bit later, man. We'll talk about that afterwards. But listen, man, we're here. Liverpool versus Spurs, semi-final, second leg, Carabao Cup. Just funny. It's honestly so funny. Obviously, we come off the back of a 1-0 defeat to Tottenham in that first leg. Bit of a surprising one, I'll be honest with you. It's not like Liverpool had out a weak team in that game. We had a pretty strong team for that match. So, yeah, bit of a surprising one. I didn't think we played that well. Maybe we didn't deserve a defeat, but I don't think we played that well to get a victory anyway in the game. So, listen, man, we have to come back from 1-0 down, innit? So, this is going to be, let's hope that the crowd are going to be able to spur Liverpool on, to get the victory this evening. But we'll wait and see, man. We'll literally wait and see. Good morning to you, man. Alexander, hope you're doing well this morning, my bro. Like I say, we're not going to be here too long, to be honest with you. I listened to Arne Slot's press conference. There wasn't really anything that he said that was really notable, if I'm being honest. Obviously, he did speak about Trent Alexander-Arnold not being available for this game. Obviously, after the knock that he picked up at the weekend against Bournemouth. So, yeah, he won't be available. So I'm going to assume that Bradley will just step into that. Which isn't really a problem, to be honest with you. He might have even potentially have started anyway in this game. So, yeah, I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue. Outside of that, from what I remember him saying, I watched this back yesterday. From what I can remember him saying, I think it was everybody else was all right. I think outside of, obviously the bait ones. I can't remember what he said about Diogo Jota. I really can't remember what he mentioned, if he mentioned Diogo Jota at all, to be honest with you. But I feel like he mentioned everything else was the same, to be honest with you. So, yeah, I think it's one of those. Big up ends, man. Good morning to you, my bro. He said, yeah, everyone's good. So, yeah, if everyone's good, then, yeah, there should be a fully fit squad. It's kind of interesting as well because we're in February now and Liverpool have a fully fit squad for this game, which is always a good thing. But just in general, that the fact that the squad is actually fit is actually a madness, because we already know with Liverpool, especially when we come around about this time period, especially last season, we remember we had so many players out injured, players still coming back, players not fit, and all of this kind of stuff. So to see that the squad is basically fit outside of Trent, yeah, that's always going to be a good thing, man. Is Joe back or not? What's going on with Jota? Yeah, I can't remember. Honestly, if you guys can remember, I watched this yesterday. So if you guys can remember what he said in regards to Jota and Joe Gomez, I mean, I haven't got them in my team anyway, so it probably doesn't even really matter for the purposes of this video. But yeah, I can't remember what he mentioned about them, man. Big up Anfield Road End in the building as well. Big up Abdul. Good morning to all of you. Early player out is Trent for the game. Yeah, if that's what he said, then yeah, that's what he said. Do you know what I mean? I'm not even really too fussed, to be honest with that. Alexander, yeah, last season we never had the same 11-5 games straight. It was a complete madness to this season. Yeah, 100%. Considering you ran on ENNZ channel, you have a day for them to flop like that yesterday. Great timing. Yeah, I know. But like I said, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Let's whiz through this, because this ain't going to be too long anyway in terms of the Liverpool side of things, to be honest with you. Because like I said, there was really nothing notable that was said. We all know what we need to do. And obviously karma. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like we've been in these kind of positions before. In terms of semi-finals of competition. So I think the guys know what they need to do. The captain knows what he needs to do. The players who are going to play tonight, they know what they need to do. If anything, it'll be just more, if Tottenham surprise us, I think that's where Liverpool will potentially get knocked out, is if Tottenham just play out of their skins, effectively almost a bit like what they did against us in the first leg, then yeah, then it could get a bit sticky. But we'll see. We'll see. Do you know what I mean? We're either going to be moaning this evening that the fact that, you know, Slot's got something wrong, or someone played shit, or we're going to be celebrating the fact that we are in to the final to face off against Newcastle, which I think will be a very, very good game. Jota Gomez back and Trent is out on the field, just not in teams. Yeah, and I heard that bit. I just don't remember him mentioning anything about Jota. But then again, I wasn't really listening too tough. I can't even lie to you, man. It was kind of just on in the background. One thing I do remember him mentioning, though, was someone asked him a question about the goalkeepers as to who was he going to start in this game. And he said he knows who he's going to start. So it'll be interesting to see. I think he's going to go with Alisson. But I don't know. I don't know. He might change his mind. But I know because we've got Plymouth on the weekend, I definitely know that Keller will play that game. So maybe he might just go strong, because the reality is, if the big boys can get a rest at the weekend against Plymouth, then why not? Do you get what I'm trying to say? So yeah, I think he plays Alisson tonight and then Kelleher on the weekend, alongside obviously a few of the other fringe players. So that was another thing that he mentioned, but he didn't want to let slip as to, you know, who it was. He's going to tell them. I think at the time of that press conference, he said he was going to tell them after he'd finished all of the other media duties and stuff like that. So again, another wait and see. But I think he's going to go, you know, with Alisson. Obviously, this was the stats from the last game. And if you guys, for those who watch my monthly review, the January monthly review, and I spoke quite a lot about, you know, when we look back at some of the games, right, that we've had over this January period, and you can see that we kind of follow a theme. So stats like this, basically, this is obviously the stats from the game, but stats like this, I felt like this was a common theme for Liverpool. Now, obviously, you know, in that January, I felt like it was an okay month. I think we played about 8 games, won 4 of them, drew 2, lost 2. Obviously, one of them being against Tottenham. And again, I'm looking at it and I'm like, 14 shots, 7 on target. So half of our shots were on target this time. We had 3 big chances. We missed 3 big chances. We scored 0 goals in this game. And I do think that is I don't know. It's to me, it's I don't like using the word problem, because I know people like to go over the top with it and think, oh, how can you moan because we're top of the league and all of that rubbish. But at the same time, conversion, man. Sometimes I'm just like, bro, like, you have to. These are like FIFA stats. Sometimes when I see this, like, if I see the man them playing FIFA and I see the game end like this, I'm like, bro, come on, man. Like, it can't always be these kind of situations where you're having bare shots, but you ain't scoring like that. And it's just annoying. It's like, are we getting quality chances? And if we are getting quality chances, that's even worse. If people agree or think that we are getting quality chances, then, yo, that's worse. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Because then we ain't finishing them, meaning the players ain't good enough, you know, in those kind of moments, you know, again. But we know that these guys are volume guys, but we spoke about that. Anyway, morning, 𝐒𝐷. I say why. Bro, let me have fun, man. Let me have fun, man. You know what I'm saying? It's morning vibes. You know what I'm saying? Everyone just woke up. I know you probably just had your cup of teas and, you know, I haven't even had mine yet. So I need to, after this stream, I need to go and have some still. But yeah, man, it's just, yeah, it's one of those things. And again, like I say, it is one of those things that I do look at. Yes, you can call me negative, Megatron, whatever it is you want to call me. But at the same time, I'm still going to look at these things and, you know, still think, okay. Do you know what I mean? Like, just pattern it up, please, if you could. Well, Diaz is starting to annoy me. Yeah. It's probably around about that time that he would start annoying people, I'll be honest with you, because the reality is with Diaz is It's all about the consistency. Can he maintain it? If you think he can maintain it, then he can maintain it. If you don't think he can maintain it, he won't maintain it. It's one of them ones, man. Diaz is a weird one. Diaz is a very, very weird one, to be honest with you. Obviously, this is the team that I went with for the game in itself. So obviously, I've gone with a relatively strong team, and I feel like I can't think of anybody else who would come in. Obviously, Alisson, I've gone with Tsimikas at left back, Bradley at right back, with Van Dijk and Konate. Midfield, I've gone with Gravenberch, McAllister, and Sobo. And then up front, I have gone with Gakpo, Diaz, and Salah. As I said before, we have got Plymouth on the weekend. So I do think players like Nunes will probably, come into that. Harvey Elliott, McConnell, everyone's favorite freaking youngster these days. Robbo might be, heck, Robbo might even start tonight, to be fair, and then maybe Tsimikas on the weekend. I don't know how he wants to kind of play that one. If I'm being totally honest with you, I also want to find out if Mathys Tel is going to be available for this evening's game. I'll be very interested to see if he plots out on that left-hand side, him up against Bradley. I think that'd be very, very interesting to see Bradley come up against him. And also it'll be his first game. So, your first game is either you're going to smash it, a bit like the Tottenham goalkeeper against us. That was his first game. He had a brilliant game that game. Absolutely brilliant. Like that's what you want your debut to kind of be like, innit? You want it to just, everything goes smoothly. We win the game. He gets a clean sheet. It's all well and good, right? So if Mathys Tel plays, I don't know what his schedule looks like and stuff like that in terms of how much he has been playing recently, and if he's been training, etc., etc. But yeah, that'll be very intriguing. But yeah, outside of that, there wasn't. I mean, if anyone thinks maybe someone else should potentially come in, by all means, I'm not really here to argue that point. To be honest with you, I don't think that there's many other spaces in the squad, in the starting 11 that I feel, yeah, you know what, we could swap this guy for that guy and that guy for this guy. If you feel that can happen, then listen, man, it's totally up to you. Hi, everyone. Big up, Abdul. Blessings to all. How are you all doing? Please, as Abdul said, guys, like, comment, share, subscribe to the damn channel, man. Please, please, please. And I've also got another video out as well. My latest video on Alexander Isak. So make sure you guys check that out as well. So it's funny how these things time, right? Did a video on Isak, but I did it yesterday during the day, like in the morning times. In the evening, he goes and cooks against Arsenal. Honestly, you couldn't ask for more. You really, really couldn't ask for more, man. But yeah, in regards Diaz or Nunes, I'd rather play Diaz. In regards to Liverpool, like I said, man, I think this is why I'm not like looking at this and this is like, oh my goodness kind of moment. This is just more, the guys know what they need to do. I'll be real. They know what they need to do. They know how they need to approach the game. You know what I mean? Don't approach the game like Arsenal did yesterday, because if you do, you get slapped 4-0 on aggregate, and you definitely don't want to see that. But it's just more about staying focused. But like I said, I don't like. I said this to Tariq yesterday on Twitter. Big up Tariq. And I said, listen, man, I'm not saying that we won't beat Spurs, and my prediction is that we will beat Spurs. But at the same time, Spurs just need a score draw, and Spurs are through. You know what I mean? So if it's 3-3, 2-2, or whatever it is, Spurs are through. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So I don't even know how they're going to approach the game, because their natural nature is not to necessarily sit back. That's not how, Ange plays. He is more or less on that kind of front foot, more counter-attacking, wants to play that high line. But you're at Anfield. I feel like he needs to understand that more than anything. And if they're going to try and get a result, it's weird, because you don't want to go machine for machine with Liverpool. I've said this 100 times. That's not going to work. Do you know what I mean? Not against Liverpool. We saw Bournemouth the other day, tried to go machine for machine. To be fair, they were a bit unlucky. Should have probably scored a goal or two in that game. But ultimately, Liverpool come away 2-0 victors. So you don't want to do that. Do you want to sit back? You could do that, because Liverpool are not good at breaking teams down, fairs. And then you could just try and hit us on the counter-attack. But I don't know, because then you're holding on to a 1-0 lead. It's weird. Like I feel like it's more problematic for Spurs than it is for Liverpool this evening, because it's only 1-0. 2-0, like Newcastle, as we saw, you just play the game, if that makes sense. Like, you just kind of play the game out. Obviously, if Arsenal get an early goal, all of a sudden things just change, right? Or if Spurs get an early goal this evening, things can change. But on the flip side of things, you can just play the game out. 1-0, boy, you ain't defending for 90 minutes. I'll tell you that for free. So let's wait and see, man. Morning, Trudon. Spurs score a lot of goals at Anfield. They've scored 5 in the past 2 visits. I know this is what I'm saying. This is why I say I think it's going to be. I think there'll be goals this evening. I really do think there will be goals. I predict Liverpool to win, but nothing's going to surprise me. Honestly, this ain't one of the games where I'm like, yeah, you know, I'll be mad surprised if Spurs win this game. I'll be like, nah, they don't have to win the game though. They really don't. They just need a draw out of this game, and they'll be absolutely fine. So we've just got to wait and see. Arsenal got humbled. Liverpool as a club and fans are grounded and down to earth. We are the silent ones. That's a lie. That is a lie. I will definitely say we are not the silent ones like that at all. We do like to pipe up a little bit. Yeah, when we're thinking about it, but it is what it is. Wasteman, why Diaz is in your team, and Jota, after you don't rate him, just make sure you don't show your face on Football Terrace if Diaz or Nunes score the winner tonight. Just for that, I'm going to make sure that I make the terrace, and I want Diaz to score a hat-trick. If he scores a hat-trick just for you, Real McCoy, I'm going to make sure that I praise Diaz more than anything. I'm going to make sure I go over the top with my praise for Diaz this evening. But thank you for the comment, though, man. Thank you for the comment. And good morning to you as well, man. Good. You sound like you're a bit angry. I don't know if you woke up on the wrong side of the bed. You know, it does sound like it. But if so, listen, man, go drink some tea, you know, and then you can just chill out, man. You can just chill out. Gatpo masterclass, load him. Let's hope so, man. He's been good in the Carabao Cup, to be fair. So I'm hoping that just continues. And he's been good in terms of like his form, in terms of like the goal outputs and assist output. He's been good over the past month. So let's just hope he can continue that, man. Let's just hope he can continue that for tonight's game. Obviously, our opponents are going to be Newcastle. Listen, I was looking more forward to talking about this than I was Liverpool section, to be honest with you. Good game yesterday. If you actually watch back the game, and obviously I didn't really analyze it properly until this morning, to be honest with you, when I was going back through it. But when you actually watch the game, Newcastle actually played a really, really good game. You know, they're pressing in the game up against Arsenal. I don't know if Arsenal were just like, I don't know if they just used up all their energy in the match against Manchester City, although I don't feel like you had to, because City weren't really that good. But if they did, then cool. But Newcastle really did use that home crowd. And I think when I was listening to the game and I was watching the game, the crowd, like, that's what Liverpool are going to need this evening. Make it uncomfortable for Spurs. From the off, though. None of this, like, wait in 2 seconds in. Obviously, as I said, had Ødegaard actually scored that chance, which he should be scoring, had Ødegaard scored that, it makes the crowd a bit uneasy. So this is where these kind of things, they can go both ways, you know. They can always go both. You never know. Ødegaard scores that, all of a sudden it's 2-1. Now the game looks a bit different. Now, and Arsenal, maybe like in a little period of the game, they were starting to get more of a foothold. They were getting possession of the ball. They were keeping the ball a lot better, but they couldn't capitalize. And once they couldn't capitalize, Newcastle, the players, the fans, it's like everything was just geared up by 100. That's exactly what Liverpool are going to need for this evening. I think we'll start the game as we normally start the games, but this is where you want the crowd, you know, straight from the off to just give us that extra, as they do, like in games like this anyway. That's one thing I will say, is in games like this, we will always try and, you know, spur the players on, you know, if we can do that. Anthony Gordon, obviously after the game, he was obviously talking to the reporters. He said, it's important for us to stay humble now. It is very, very important to stay humble. I laughed at that. I felt it was, now everybody's saying it. Obviously, we've heard Haaland say it. Salah has said it as well. I've heard other players. And then obviously last night, it was Anthony Gordon's turn to use the humble phrase now. And it's, listen, man, football, it's all banter at the end of the day, innit? And I think even with like Miles Lewis-Skelly, like the whole celebration, that in itself is weird. No, sorry, it's not weird because I understand everything behind it. But I think when I think about it, I'm like, why is it everybody always like has to over exaggerate like the point and stuff like that? Like, why do you have to like make it into a big thing? Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, what is the what would be the reason behind that? I just don't really understand it. But listen, it is what it is. And the reality is, you got to stay humble. You know what I mean? After these victories, sometimes you're gassed, of course, and as rightly so, you should be gassed. You beat Man City 5-1, you should do that. Newcastle beat Arsenal 2-0 twice. They should be gassed, but stay humble though. You know what I'm saying? Just the season's not even finished. This ain't the last game of anything. Do you know what I mean? This is just the next game on your journey to wherever it is that you're trying to do. In this case, it's the next game on your journey to the Carabao Cup final. So you're gassed, you celebrate, boom. Now you move on. One of the things that I did actually take away from when I was listening to the press conferences and stuff after the game, right, was I was listening to Kieran Trippier and Dan Burn. They were talking to the Sky lot, and one of the things that Trippier said, which I found interesting, was obviously the last time they got to the final, I think they played Man United and they lost, and obviously that was a new experience. It was like the first time, getting to a final after all of these years and stuff like that. Like, it was crazy, right? But obviously he was talking more about the stuff outside of the football in itself. So things like getting people tickets and, trying to sort out families and, that whole kind of, I guess, the adrenaline rush that you get getting to a final for the first time for the club anyway, for a long, long time of getting there. Now they're into another final. You can see just in the, again, I don't know what's going to happen, but you can see just, you can maybe get the vibe that even the way that they're talking, that this time they're a lot more experienced. They've been there before. We're here again. Obviously, they're going to want to go one better as well. So they're obviously going to be geared up for the match. But maybe even in their own preparation, Eddie Howe now knows, okay, last time, this is how we prepared. This is what happened in the lead up to that. Obviously, there was a lot of talk in the, behind the scenes and stuff like that in regards to it, because obviously it was the first time Newcastle would obviously got into a final for a long, long time, and etc. etc. This time you can see, these guys are, just step steady. Whoever gets to the final, Tottenham or Liverpool, and I think it's going to be Liverpool anyway. If you get to the final, just be, you know what I'm saying? But we'll get there when we'll get there anyway, because we don't know what the form and stuff like that is going to be like, leading up to that. So we just have to wait and see. Winning your first final in a while is very, very difficult. Yeah, it is. It is. It's like you got this monkey on your back. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of pressure. And remember, Newcastle haven't won a big trophy in time. Like donkey's years. You know what I'm saying? Like literally for so long. So that pressure, that monkey that they've still got on their back, is still going to be there heading into this game. We've obviously won a few trophies in that time. Yeah, even in, like, we've won the Carabao Cup recently. We've won the FA Cup, recently. So yeah, it's going to be tricky. It's going to be tricky. But again, we'll deal with that when we do like the preview and all that kind of stuff, at a later date. 𝐒𝐔𝐁𝐒, bro, you need to, I don't know, you've been drinking Magnum this morning or something. Waste man, I don't watch Football Terrace when any Liverpool idiots like Donkey Sam, Dumb Jerry, and you. Okay, so you don't watch the Football Terrace, but you're telling me if I go on the Football Terrace. So which one is it? Do you watch it or you don't watch it? It has to be one of the two, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, which one is it? Do you watch it or you don't watch it? Because you're telling me to go on there and don't praise Nunes or Diaz or whoever it was that you said. But now you're saying that you don't watch it. I don't know, man. Pick a side, my bro. Pick a side. But first and foremost, go and drink some water, or I don't know, go and cool off, or I don't know, man. It's too early for this. I don't know. Did you break up with your gal or something? Like, I don't know, man. Did you get fired from your job? Like, I don't know. You sound too angry at 10:24 in the morning. Like, it's kind of, it's maybe a bit worrying, if I'm being honest. But if you need someone to talk to, bro, you can just DM me on Twitter, man. You know what I mean? I'm always open for DMs. I'm always willing to chitter chatter. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, I'm easy, man. I'm easy. I'm in a too calm of a mood to let you bring down the shine, bro. Like, just DM me if anything. If there's any problems, always DM me. I'm always willing to talk. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But another player I wanted to take a look at, obviously, was Isak. Whew, yeah, this brother is he didn't even score yesterday, and he was still on madness. That type of performance that he put in was real electric, man. It was bruv, the hassle he gave to Saliba and Gabriel was just mad. It was just mad. And now we've reached this section, right? One of the things that, again, this is what I'm saying about Arsenal fans. And Arsenal fans, I'm gonna just keep getting on to you, to be honest with you, because you lot are just bums anyway. But one thing that annoys me is that the first thing that people went to, which I always find interesting, but the first thing that people went to after the game, Arsenal fans anyway, was they tried to reload clips. So it was, I saw this morning, I can't remember who it was, but they had like a clip of Isak scoring. I remember Isak scoring on his debut for Newcastle against us. That was in the season that we finished fifth. So I think that, yeah, that was his first season. And that was his debut goal, right? And then remember, he scored another goal, but it was offside. So, but we could see, yo, this brother, he's on like some serious smoke, right? And then obviously had the season that he had. Then they showed, I think, from the game, was it earlier on this season, at St. James's Park, where he scored. They showed, like, they were showing that clip. And the reason why they were showing it was because they were trying to show Van Dijk up against Isak, right? Because obviously everyone had been dunking on both Gabriel and Saliba mainly for this match. And I was like, okay, like, you can't erase these memories, right? Like, they're there. Like, I wouldn't say he dunked, but you know what? We'll give you the benefit of the doubt and we'll say he dunked on Van Dijk. That's fine. I've got no problems with that. What does that have to do with him dunking on Saliba, though? That was the bit that confused me the most, was because I was like, okay, what does the two they don't correlate. It's not like him, because he supposedly dunked on Virgil van Dijk, that it would be okay for him to dunk on Saliba. That like, I don't feel like that makes sense. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm looking at it all wrong. But yeah, I never really understood that. Isak is one of the best strikers in the world. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So him dunking on anybody is, at the end of the day, it's just banter, you know, in that kind of sense. But it was bad. It was then genuinely bad, you know, and this ain't the first time that he's done this against, forget even this season, in previous games, when Isak has played against Arsenal, the performances that he's put in has been really, really good, you know, and he's literally unsettled. And when I look at Isak here, it's weird. And like I said, I did the video, so you guys check it out and let me know what you think. But, you know, when I'm thinking about someone like Isak, it's weird. Like, he is relatively physical, but I don't feel like he gets into many physical battles, so to speak. I don't really feel like that's his game. He's a good dribbler, obviously, good on the ball, good finisher, gets himself into really good spaces at times. He seems to always know when to be in the right space. He knows when he needs to attack the space when he needs to, or maybe drop off, pull out wide, you know, to receive the ball, or just to create space for Gordon or Murphy on the other side, kind of thing. So it's weird, like, because Gabriel and Saliba, I think that they prefer playing up against a Haaland more so, because those kind of players are more like, at times Haaland will try and use his body, and he gets too emotional. Like, that's one thing about Haaland that annoys me. He gets too emotional in these kind of battles with like a Gabriel and Saliba, but they want that though, because Saliba is overly emotional. You get what I'm trying to say? It's not Saliba, sorry. Gabriel is overly emotional as an individual, but that plays into his hands, because it's almost like he thrives on that, and he has really good games when he's really, really emotional. And Saliba's kind of the same. They want that kind of physical battle. When you start playing with a player who's like dropping off into space, and, you know, you don't know when to attack that space, but then sometimes he will, you know, play up against you, and he's strong enough to hold the ball up, and he'll, you know, pop it around the corner, and then he's off. Like, when you're playing against players like that, bro, it can be difficult, you know. It can be really, really difficult. And I think, and again, I don't want to misquote Jerry, but I'm sure Jerry said he prefers playing against those type of target men strikers. No, is it target men strikers or strikers who run off into space? He would have to tell you. But I can imagine, I can see both sides of it, to be honest with you. It depends on what type of defender that you are in general, to be honest with you. But Isak, yeah, this guy is, as Hakeem saying here, man, he's just a bully. He's genuinely just a bully, man. With tech, yeah, it's true. And that's the thing. He's got mad tech. Definitely got more tech than Etu and Drogba. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, he's definitely got that dribbling ability where he could go out onto the wing and he doesn't look awkward. You know, like some strikers, when they go out onto the wing, obviously that's not their game, so fair enough. But when they go on the wing, I always feel like you look awkward out there. So you have to run back into the middle of the park. You're only probably going out there just to maybe do a little 1-2 and then go, kind of thing. Whereas he doesn't seem like he's like that. You know, for me, he's more of a hybrid of like a Thierry Henry more than anything, in terms of the way he can pull out wide. Henry wasn't, like, obviously they both got skills, right? And I'm not talking Neymar skills, like, but I'm saying just skills in general. But they're very direct with it. They're very direct with it, you know. And sometimes I almost feel like it's a little bit unorthodox. Even when I used to watch Henry, I used to think, yeah, it almost looks a bit unorthodox. Like, I don't know what you're gonna do in this moment, but obviously he knows what they know what they're gonna do. But with them, I was like, I don't know, what is he gonna? Is he gonna cut in? Is he gonna go on the outside? Is he gonna do a flip flap? Is he gonna whatever, like step over? Like, I have no idea, what it is that these players are gonna do, but they just seem so comfortable out there, and I think that's a really, really good trait, for someone like 𝐒𝐔𝐄𝐄 to have, to be able to run the line, almost play across that front line, and be a lone man up there. But also, he needs to have a good relationship with someone like Gordon, with someone like Murphy. And I think that's why it works so well for Newcastle, in a general sense. So, listen, man, they're a good team. Arsenal, you're in the fucking mud. Do you get what I'm saying? Now I'm seeing tweets about, yeah, man, you know what? We don't even care about the Carabao Cup. You know what I mean? I'm like, bruv, you cared. If you got through, you would care. Do you know what I mean? You would definitely care. I think when you're in a position when you haven't won anything for time, it'll be like Spurs fans saying, but we don't even care, man. We just want to stay up. Bruv, they care. They fully care. Of course you care. Why wouldn't you? Like, you haven't won trophy for time. Like, you're not in a position to pick and choose which one you can get. Bruv, you need one now. I'm not saying that any team really is in that situation, but I am in, like, when I think about Liverpool, I am in that kind of situation where I'm like, well, if you win it, you win it. Yeah, it is what it is, man. We got bigger fish to fry. You know what I'm saying? We got bigger fish to fry, and we actually do, to be honest with you. And I've seen my team win it recently. Like, was it last season or the season before? We won the Carabao Cup. So, yeah, I'm just like, yeah, if we can win it, that's amazing. You know what I'm saying? That'd be good for the players. It'll be good for Arne Slot. His first trophy. It's almost, again, he can get that kind of hoodoo, that monkey off his back as well. And then the lads can kind of kick on. Hopefully, they can kick on and they can have a really, really good end to the season. But listen, man, we'll wait and we shall see. But guys, I'm gonna wrap it up there. As I said, I'm not going to be here for a long time. I think this will be redirected to ENDZ's stream later on. I believe it will be the match reaction to the game. So make sure you guys obviously just go in there, hit a like button for ENDZ, please. I might drop another video later on. I'm trying to do like 2 videos a day, people. I'm trying to do 2 videos a day, like one in the morning, like now, and then obviously try and do another one later on in the day for you guys as well. Just maybe like an analysis, a look at a player and stuff like that. So yeah, I've got another video looking at Morgan Gibbs-White for Nottingham Forest. So yeah, hopefully you guys can obviously go and check that out, and then yeah, let me know, man. Let me know. Obviously, make sure as well tomorrow, but I'll remind you tomorrow when we do the match reaction tomorrow evening, 6 p.m. Another the third episode or third episode of my series, taking a look at the story so far of like old school players. So obviously we've had Adriano, we've had Samuel Eto'o. So obviously I've got another one for tomorrow. So of course, make sure you guys check that out. And yeah, make sure you guys sign up, man, to membership if you want to become a member. I am gonna do a membership video. I'm just kind of almost waiting for like a gap in the fixture kind of list for the week. So maybe potentially after this FA Cup game, actually. So we're looking at like next week. Maybe next week we will we'll obviously we'll take a look at that, and then of course take it from there. As Abdul says, man, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Big up Hakeem. Blessings to everybody, man. Enjoy the rest of your day. Real McCoy, enjoy the rest of your day, bro. You know what I'm saying? You seem angry. Big up for the view, by the way. That's always key and important. By you staying here longer than the 30 seconds, you have given me a view. So I cannot complain at your comments, hence why I will not block you. Speak your mind. If there's anything you do not like, then yeah, please speak your mind, bro. I'm not here to silence the people, them. Do you get what I'm saying? All I'm saying is maybe you just need to get laid. I feel like that's causing you problems right about now. I don't know. Playing with yourself at this time in the morning, it's not usually a good thing. So my guy, make sure you stop, put it down, go drink some tea and coffee, and enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.